Help me reach 100k and we will have a legendary giveaway. 3 copies of Legends Arceus with the #1 winner also winning a Switch system. All you need to do is subscribe and comment on any one of my videos from October 28th to January 28th. The more videos you comment on, the more chances you'll have at winning. Leaving a like or a dislike will help support the channel as well. Be sure to read the rest of the rules on screen, and best of luck with the giveaway. Sinnoh probably has the most notorious teams out of any Pokemon generation. And this, of course, is because a lot of specialists use Pokemon that are outside of their type range. Of course, you got people like Aaron and Bertha, who are Bug and Ground type leaders respectively, but use Pokemon like Drapion and Sudowoodo. Now that isn't too crazy, because Drapion evolves from a Bug type, which is Scorpy, and Sudowoodo, being the Rock type, is kinda close to the Ground type. You can make sense out of it there. But then you got people like Candace, Volkner, and Flint. Candace, who's an Ice type leader that uses Medicham, Volkner, who's an Electric type leader that uses Octillery and Ambipom, and Flint, who's a Fire type leader that's the most notorious one on this list because despite being a Fire type leader, he uses Lopunny, Steelix, and Drifblim. What's the rationale behind these 6 Pokemon? Why give these 6 Pokemon to these 3 leaders? It doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Well, it kinda does, and I'm gonna explain why. What's going on, guys? Hybridary here. Now, of course, the reason why Volkner, Candace, and Flint have these 6 Pokemon is because the Diamond and Pearl Dex is very limited, and they had to make use of what they had to fit in with these typings. For example, the only Electric-type families in the Diamond and Pearl Dex are the Luxray family, the Raichu family, and Pachirisu. For whatever reason, they didn't want to give Volkner Pachirisu, so they gave him Luxray, Raichu, and then Octillery and Ambipom. But why specifically those 2 Pokemon? Why specifically Medicham for Candace? And why specifically those other 3 that we mentioned for Flint? Why not other Pokemon that would make a bit more sense from the Diamond and Pearl Dex? Or why not even pre-evolutions of Pokemon that they already have? Well, having pre-evolutions might make the leaders too easy, but despite that, there is some rationale behind all 6 of these choices for each of the leaders. Now, Flint, I can safely say that Hoops and Hip Hop and I figured out pretty much on the dot why his 3 Pokemon were chosen. Volkner and Candace, I just kind of realized, and I'm gonna share with you my realization. So, obviously, Candace is an Ice-type leader. Medicham as a Pokemon probably has nothing to do with the Ice typing, except for the fact that you can find Medicham near Snow Point City. But have you ever thought of why Medicham is so close to Snow Point City? And why you can even find it in the Snow region in particular? Well, I'm pretty sure this is because Medicham is based off of Shiva from the Hindu culture. From the Hindu lore, it's said that Kailash, or Kailasa, is the abode of Shiva. Now, you can take a look. Kailash is located in the Himalayan regions, and it's obviously incredibly cold and very snowy. Looking at it, maybe you wouldn't expect someone as frail looking as Medicham, or someone who's not as clothed, or has no fur, to be in such a region. But in Hindu lore, that's exactly how Shiva was in the Himalayan region. Despite not having the clothing or the appearance of someone that would be in the snowy regions, that's where he was. And that's exactly where Medicham was, and that's where I think the connection to the Ice typing comes from. Post-editing Hybrid here, even if you don't think Medicham is based off of Shiva, it is very clearly based off of some kind of yogi, and a lot of yogis do spend their time in snowy, cold regions, with barely any clothing. So whether it's Shiva or another yogi, it doesn't matter. Medicham is clearly based off of one of them, and that's where the connection to the snow typing lies. Also, Candace is someone who emphasized focus, which is another reason why Medicham is on our team. But still, I feel like the connection to the Ice typing comes from the yogi origins. As for Volkner, Octillery is a lot more easy to pinpoint than Ambipom. Octillery, as we know from the Gold and Silver beta leaks, is related to Remoraid, not because a fish can evolve into an octopus, but because a shooter becomes a cannon or a tank. And if you look at it, if they maintained this design, they probably would have had either the subtypings of steel or electric. Either way, it being a tank makes it so that electricity is incorporated somewhere there. Kinda like how, despite Charizard being a fire and flying type, the dragon elements are there as well. Same thing with Octillery. Despite it just being a pure water type, now that we know it's a tank, the electric typing is somewhere incorporated in there as well. As for Ambipom, this is a little bit more far-fetched, you could say, but Ambipom does have the smile of a symbol monkey. You guys know these toys, right? These are the toy monkeys that just like constantly play music and constantly bang the cymbals left, right, and center. They just constantly play that over and over and over again. If it's based off a toy, which part of its design seems to be, then once again, the electricity element comes there as well. Now, am I saying that this is a good reason to have Ambipom on Volkner's team? No, I don't think so. But from the remaining Pokemon in the Diamond and Pearl decks, I can see why Ambipom was chosen. Admittedly, between the 6, Ambipom does have the weakest link, but I do think this is the reason why Ambipom was chosen personally. But for Flint's team, this is probably the reason that you guys want the most, and these 3 Pokemon are the reasons where I can guarantee I got the reason. Not just me, it was actually Hoops and Hip Hop and I. We were on a podcast together that got scrapped, unfortunately, but we were just talking about certain things, and we were talking about how we hated Flint's team, but going back and forth, we were actually able to figure out on the spot why Flint has Drifblim, Lopunny, and Steelix. Let's start off with Drifblim. This is the easiest one. Drifblim is a hot air balloon. Do you know what hot air balloons need to fly? They need fire. They need ignition. They need something to light them up so that the air rises and the balloon rises. That's literally all it is. And that, to be honest, that's literally all you needed. That's a good enough explanation to have a Pokemon that isn't a fire type on someone's team when the only 2 fire types available are Rapidash and Infernape. As for Lopunny, it might get a little PG-13 here, but Lopunny is there because it's a Playboy bunny, and Playboy bunnies are supposed to be hot. That's literally all it is. You can look up Lopunny's origins. They intended for this to be based off of Playboy bunny, and since they based off a category of people that are hot, hey, hot, fire, it's related. It's on the team, bro. And then finally, Steelix, who I kept telling Hoops I thought it was on Flint's team because of the Fuego Ironworks, and you know, fire and steel all being related and stuff. That's what I thought the reasoning was, and I still think to some degree it might be. But the real reason is in the nomenclature. Flint and Steel. Flint's name is obviously Flint, and Steelix is Steel. Flint and Steel, you get it together. Steelix is now on Flint's team. What, like, bro, that's genius. I'm not justifying any of these 6 Pokemon being on their teams, right? I do think they should have had Platinumons and just had Electivire, Mamoswine, and Magmortar and all these other Pokemon on their teams. I legitimately do think so. But since they were so restricted, they were really able to work with what they had, and they actually used their heads to figure out these teams properly. And for that, hats off to them. These aren't just dumb Pokemon thrown in together. There's reasoning behind all 6 of them. And figuring that out is like, wow. Good job, Pokemon. Great job. It's always fun when you're restricted on something and you make use of what you have and you really pull something through together. And you know what? Game Freak did it. And I'm proud of them. It was a nice discovery. Now, of course, these are only the teams when you fight them for the first time in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Once you get to the rematches, however, things will change and you'll see Platinumons and more than that actually, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. This video was pretty much inspired by the discussion that Hoops and I had. If you want, please do go check out his channel. He's a good friend of mine. Since this video came out because him and I talked about it together, why not throw his channel in there? You know, he has a lot of great content. You can check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys on the next video, alright? Later.